Hello guys and welcome to the channel. So in today's episode I'm actually going to be analyzing this boom 1000 using price action. So as you can actually see right here, I'm on the H4 time frame, which is our bias or directional bias time frame, right? So I'm going to mark out all my trend lines and stuff, right? So you can actually see that if I touch this point here and this point, I'm actually going to create something like a very valid trend line, right? So let me touch that point here, right? Then the trend line must pass through this second point here. Hey man, what's wrong? Hey, sorry about that, but I think I need to make it look something like a bit more perfect so that I can get cute entries, right? So that's my first trend line there, and my second trend line, you can actually see that if I take this point and another point from here, I can actually create something like a more valid trend line as well. So I'm gonna do that. I'm actually using price action here, guys. Okay, let me take that one. So first and foremost, you can actually see that price actually broke through this trend line and it went up there, so it is something like a break of structure in terms of this trend line. So I'm anticipating price to come back to retest the trend line, and price may consolidate up to this point here to definitely reach this point. This is all I know right now. And the other thing that I do is I mark out my swing points as usual. You know, this is what we always do on this channel, right? So let me mark out all my swing points, right? Okay, it's crazy, but we are going to do it regardless, right? So on my H4 right here, you can actually see that I've used my price action. So right now I'm actually going to shift to my H1 time frame to see where price is likely to go. But before I shift to my H1 time frame, considering that I'm moving from this point up to here, you can actually see that this is a downtrend because we had a swing high here, swing low here, which consolidates swing high, swing low, swing high, swing low, swing high. Then price is actually failing to break this point here, so we are still in a downtrend, right? And price actually failed to break this structure here, and I think it's now consolidating. So let me move to my H1 here. Don't worry guys, I've got an influencer here. Okay, so considering that I'm on my H1, you can actually see that this was a swing point and it's a great resistance zone. As you can actually see that price is playing around this zone here, so price may come back to create something like an M on this point, then go down. And if you are using BTMM, if you are coming from the top that I showed you on H4 time frame, you can actually see that we had our levels there. So I'm actually going to add my eye regression indicator here. You know, we always do that on this channel. So you can actually see that it plotted this line, the green line here. So price sorry guys about that. So price was actually going to test this green line, and I think it's actually going to come back there, but I'm not sure about that because this one is a bit consolidating. But what I've shown you right now is what you always do when you are using price action. Let me check my AOR channel here. So on my AOR channel, you can actually see that price actually broke this red line here, or this red trend line, and it's something like a fake breakout because the price is to come back down there. And as of yet, I think price is to issue those like sales, right? Let me add in the shivered supply and demand as usual. So adding the shivered supply and demand zone, you can actually see that this is a verified resistance, and as I said earlier, this point is actually one of the strongest points on this chart, and I think price is to fall from this point onwards, and I think sell positions may actually generate something like an income for you on this one. Kadia nindoro chena wangu ndiwe gumash. Okay, right now I'm on the H15 time frame. So on the H15 time frame, you can actually see that we still have a green line here. Price actually tested this verified resistance on F15, and I'm anticipating for a sell right now. So if you're watching this episode, you can actually, find yourself positions there. Thank you guys for watching. Please make sure you hit the subscribe button. Remember, we've got our directional time frame, then we've got our structure time frame and our entry time frame. And on this channel, we use the H4 time frame as our directional bias time frame, then the H1 is our structural time frame, and F15 as our entry confirmation. Thank you guys.